Why is it that the smartest people in the room often end up working for those who aren't as intellectually gifted? Why do some people with average IQs soar in life, building empires, leading nations, inspiring millions, while others with genius-level intelligence never rise beyond mediocrity? It's not luck. It's not privilege. It's something most schools never taught you. It's emotional intelligence. The ability to master your own emotions, the strength to stay calm under pressure, the power to lead not just with logic, but with empathy, presence, and emotional clarity. Your success in life, in relationships, in your career, doesn't depend solely on how smart you are. It depends on how you manage your emotions, how you connect with others, how you handle stress, bounce back from failure, and keep moving when life gets tough. Let me ask you something. Have you ever lost control of your temper and ruined something important? Have you ever shut down emotionally, not because you didn't care, but because you were overwhelmed? Have you ever felt like you were stuck, not because of a lack of knowledge, but because of inner chaos? That's where emotional intelligence comes in. And the good news? You can build it. You can grow it. You can master it. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, as revealed by Daniel Goleman, the man who changed how the world sees emotions and success. You're going to discover how to understand yourself in ways you've never imagined, how to break free from emotional habits that are holding you back, and how to unlock a power that's been within you all along. Because the truth is this: IQ may open the door, but EQ decides whether you walk through it. Talent may get you noticed, but emotional intelligence will make you unforgettable. So if you're ready to break free from emotional chaos, if you're ready to stop reacting and start responding, if you're ready to lead, love, and live at a higher level, then let's begin.
Let's begin with the foundation. What exactly is emotional intelligence? Daniel Goleman defines it as the capacity to recognize our own feelings and those of others, to motivate ourselves, and to manage emotions well, in ourselves and in our relationships. In simpler words, emotional intelligence is your ability to understand, control, and express emotions, and to handle relationships with wisdom and empathy. It's made of 5 powerful pillars. 1. Self-awareness, knowing your own emotions as they happen. 2. Self-regulation, managing your emotional responses. 3. Motivation, being driven by inner goals, not external rewards. 4. Empathy, understanding the emotions of others. 5. Social skills, building healthy, meaningful relationships. Now you might be wondering, isn't intelligence about logic, memory, numbers, and raw brain power? Yes, that's IQ, and it does matter. But Goleman's research, backed by science, psychology, and years of real-world observation, proves something shocking. IQ contributes only about 20% to the factors that determine success. The rest, it's emotional intelligence. Think about it. Have you ever met someone brilliant, but they crumble under pressure? Or someone who's incredibly smart, but toxic in relationships? Or someone who knows everything, but can't connect, lead, or inspire? High IQ, but low EQ, and it holds them back. On the other hand, the best leaders, teachers, creators, and healers are not just smart, they're emotionally tuned. They know how to stay calm, how to speak with purpose, how to feel deeply without being destroyed by those feelings. Emotional intelligence is the X factor. It's what allows a soldier to lead with courage. It's what allows a parent to nurture without breaking down. It's what allows an entrepreneur to push through failure without giving up. It's the reason some people succeed not despite pressure, but because of how they handle it. And here's the beauty of it. IQ is mostly fixed. EQ is not. You can raise your emotional intelligence. You can train your brain to become emotionally stronger, wiser, and more grounded. You don't need to be born a genius. You need to learn the skills of emotional mastery and apply them. That's what the rest of this video will show you. So now that you understand what emotional intelligence is, let's move to the first and most important pillar, self-awareness. Because without it, nothing else is possible.
Imagine this. You're angry. You snap at someone. Later, you regret it. Or you feel anxious, so you avoid an opportunity. And later, wonder why you held yourself back. What really happened? You weren't aware of what you were feeling, and it controlled you. That's why self-awareness is the very first step in emotional intelligence. Because if you can't see your emotions clearly, you can't manage them. You can't change them. You can't grow beyond them. Daniel Goleman says self-awareness is the ability to monitor your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and impulses as they arise. It's like turning on a light inside your mind. Suddenly, you're not walking blind anymore. You see what you're feeling. You understand why you're triggered. And most importantly, you gain the power to choose how you respond. Self-awareness gives you choice, and choice gives you freedom. Think of the most powerful people you admire, not because of their wealth or status, but because of their presence, their calm in chaos, their clarity in conflict, their ability to speak with purpose and act with integrity. That strength starts with self-awareness. They know their strengths. They know their blind spots. They listen not just to others, but to their own inner signals. And here's what's even more empowering. Self-awareness is a skill. You can build it. You can train it like a muscle. Start by checking in with yourself daily. What am I feeling right now? Where is that emotion coming from? Is it helping me or hurting me? Keep a journal. Write down your emotional patterns. Observe yourself without judgment. The more you do this, the more power you gain over your emotional life. Self-awareness doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel deeply and understand your emotions instead of being controlled by them. Let me give you an example. Steve Jobs, known for his visionary leadership, also had moments of extreme intensity. But over time, he developed deep awareness of how his emotions affected his team and his decisions. That awareness allowed him to shift, evolve, and lead from a higher place. Or take Oprah Winfrey. She once said, "The whole point of being alive is to evolve into the complete person you were intended to be." That evolution begins with inner awareness. So, if you've ever felt lost, if you've ever wondered why your life feels like it's on autopilot, this is where you begin. Wake up, observe, feel, understand. The more clearly you see yourself, the more clearly you can shape your future. Self-awareness is the mirror of your soul, and once you learn to look into it with honesty and courage, everything begins to change. Let's now move to the next pillar of emotional intelligence, self-regulation.
the power to stay in control even when life pushes you to the edge. You've learned to see your emotions. Now comes the challenge of managing them. Because life will test you. People will frustrate you. Plans will fall apart. And your emotions will rise. Anger, fear, panic, jealousy, frustration. These emotions are natural, but they don't have to control you. This is where self-regulation becomes your superpower. Daniel Goleman defines it as the ability to control or redirect disruptive emotions and impulses and to think before acting. Think of it like this. Self-awareness is knowing there's a storm inside you. Self-regulation is learning how to sail through it without sinking. Let me ask you, have you ever said something in anger that you instantly regretted? Have you ever made a poor decision just because you were stressed or afraid? Have you ever let your emotions write a story you didn't mean to tell? That's emotional hijacking. And it happens when we act before we think. When we let the emotional brain override the rational mind. But you are not your reaction. You are not your panic. You are not your anger. You are the calm behind the storm. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you breathe through the chaos, every time you choose your response instead of being ruled by emotion, you win, you grow, you evolve. Goleman explains that emotionally intelligent people don't suppress their emotions, they manage them. They feel anger, but they don't explode. They feel fear, but they still take action. They feel disappointment, but they don't give up. This isn't about being robotic, it's about being resilient. Here's a powerful tip. Use the 6-second pause. It takes about 6 seconds for the chemicals of anger or stress to flood the brain and begin to fade. So next time you're about to react, stop, breathe, count to 6. Respond not from the emotion, but from your values. Because the strongest person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who stays calm when others lose control. Let me give you a real-world example. In high-pressure military environments, leaders are trained to regulate emotion under extreme stress, not because they're cold, but because in chaos, clarity saves lives. Or take Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, humiliated, beaten, forgotten. And yet, he emerged not with revenge, but with wisdom, calm, dignity, control. That's power. That's self-regulation, emotional intelligence in action. So if you want to lead, if you want to rise, if you want to earn trust, respect, and impact, learn to master your reactions. Your peace is your power. Your discipline is your strength. Your control is your freedom. And once you have that, nothing outside you can break what's inside you. Now let's unlock the third pillar of emotional intelligence, motivation, the fire within that pushes you when no one is watching. Let's talk about the fire that keeps you going. Not the applause, not the rewards, not the money, likes, or recognition. The fire that burns quietly inside you. That's intrinsic motivation. Daniel Goleman describes this as the emotional drive to pursue goals for meaning and growth, not external rewards. It's what pushes an athlete to train when no one's watching. It's what keeps a creator up all night chasing perfection.
It's what makes a leader show up every day, even when the world doubts them. It's the emotional fuel that powers greatness. See, when your motivation comes only from the outside, praise, money, fame, you become a slave to validation. But when it comes from the inside, from something deeper, you become unstoppable. Because your why is stronger than your obstacles. Think of people who have made history. Nelson Mandela didn't fight for power, he fought for justice. Malala Yousafzai didn't risk her life for fame, she fought for education. Elon Musk isn't building rockets for applause. He's driven by a mission to expand human potential. These people are not moved by external rewards. They are moved by inner vision, purpose, passion, fire. And guess what? That fire lives in you too. Maybe it's been buried, silenced, drowned in doubt, but it's there. Emotional intelligence helps you reconnect with that inner fire, so your life is not ruled by fear or distraction, but by purpose. So, how do you ignite it? Start by asking, what excites me, even when no one's looking? What challenge would I take on, even if I might fail? What would I do even if I never got paid for it? The answers may scare you, but they will also free you. Because once you tap into your intrinsic motivation, life becomes different. You stop chasing things that don't matter. You stop comparing yourself to others. You start waking up with clarity. You start working with passion. You start walking with direction. And even when the road gets hard, and it will, you'll keep going. Because you're not powered by approval. You're powered by purpose. That's emotional intelligence at its best. Not just staying calm, not just staying in control, but staying on fire when others burn out. So take a moment today and reflect. What's driving you? Is it pressure or purpose? Fear or meaning? The world's noise or your soul's truth? Choose the fire within, because when your why becomes clear, the how becomes easy. Now, let's talk about another emotional intelligence superpower, one that can change your relationships, your leadership, and your ability to truly connect: empathy.
In a world full of noise, egos, and competition, what makes someone truly influential? Not their status, not their authority, not how loud they speak, but how deeply they listen. That's the power of empathy. Daniel Goleman describes empathy as the ability to understand the emotions of others, not just intellectually, but emotionally. To feel with them, to see through their eyes, to connect at a human level. And when you master this skill, something beautiful happens. People open up, walls come down, relationships deepen, conflict softens, trust begins to grow. Empathy isn't weakness, it's emotional intelligence in its purest form. Think of a great leader, not the ones who bark orders, but the ones who walk beside their team, who listen, who understand. The leaders who win hearts before they give directions. The partners who don't just say, "I hear you," but mean it. The friends who don't fix you, they simply sit with you. That's emotional maturity. That's connection. That's real power. Goleman's research shows that empathy leads directly to better collaboration, stronger leadership, and higher success, not just in relationships, but in business and society. Why? Because people follow those they feel seen by.
We don't follow titles, we follow trust. And trust is born through empathy. Now, let's take it a step further, into social skills. Emotional intelligence isn't just what happens inside you, it's how you show up with people. Can you resolve conflict without ego? Can you inspire without dominating? Can you listen, not to reply, but to understand? These are emotional superpowers, and in a world where attention is short and judgment is high, these skills make you rare and valuable. Here's a simple practice to grow your empathy. Next time someone speaks, listen with the intention to feel what they're feeling. Don't plan your reply. Don't judge. Don't fix. Just be present. Then ask yourself, what's going on inside them? Because empathy isn't just about understanding sadness. It's also feeling someone's joy, noticing their fears, respecting their silence. And the reward? Deeper love, deeper influence, deeper humanity. So remember this, your intelligence may impress people, but your empathy will connect you. In leadership, in friendship, in family. Empathy is the bridge, social skill is the vehicle. Together, they make you a force for good. Now, we've explored the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, but the question remains, how do you develop them? How do you make this knowledge your daily power? Let's close this journey with a roadmap, a practical way to begin your emotional transformation. You've seen the power of emotional intelligence. You felt its impact. Now it's time to ask the most important question. How do I build it? How do I make this real in my life? The truth is, emotional intelligence is not a theory. It's not something you learn once and forget. It's a daily practice, a way of being, a lifelong skill. Let's break it down. Step 1. Practice daily self-awareness. Start each day with a check-in. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? How is this emotion influencing my thoughts and actions? Keep a journal. Track your moods. Notice patterns. The more aware you become of your inner world, the more power you gain over it. Step 2. Master the pause. Train your self-regulation. When triggered, practice the 6-second rule. Stop, breathe, count to 6, then respond with intention. You don't have to fight your emotions. You just need to create space between feeling and action. Try mindfulness or breath work. Even 5 minutes a day can rewire your brain to be calmer and clearer. Step 3. Fuel yourself with purpose. Strengthen your motivation. Reconnect with your why. Ask, what do I truly want? What impact do I want to make? What excites me to the core? Set emotionally aligned goals. Focus on growth, not comparison. Let your inner purpose guide your daily actions. Purpose will carry you when motivation fades. Step 4. Practice empathy every day. Listen more. Judge less. Be curious about others. Put yourself in someone else's shoes, especially when you disagree. Ask, what are they feeling? Why might they feel that way? you'll be amazed at how much more peaceful and powerful your relationships become. Step 5. Sharpen your social skills. Work on your ability to connect. Practice active listening. Speak with clarity and kindness. Learn to resolve conflicts with empathy, not ego. Start small, one conversation at a time. Emotional intelligence isn't loud. It's present, aware, and real. Bonus tip: feed your EQ. EQ is like a muscle. It grows with training. Read books that challenge your perspective. Journal your emotional experiences. Reflect at the end of each day. Where did I show emotional intelligence today? Where can I grow tomorrow? Over time, your brain rewires. Your reactions shift. Your presence deepens. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware, being intentional, being human, and growing stronger every single day. You don't need more degrees. You don't need a higher IQ. You don't need anyone's permission. You need awareness. You need courage. You need emotional mastery. And that journey starts now. Let's end with a message to anchor this shift, to plant the seed that will keep growing in your heart. Take a deep breath. Now, imagine the person you could become if you stopped letting emotions control you and started letting emotional intelligence guide you. Imagine the peace you'd feel, the confidence you'd radiate, the strength you'd carry into every room. You no longer react, you'd respond. You'd no longer be consumed by fear, you'd move with purpose. You'd no longer seek approval because you'd already know your worth. That's what emotional intelligence gives you. The ability to lead, not with force, but with presence. The ability to love, not with fear, but with depth. The ability to live, not in reaction to the world, but in alignment with your truth. You were never meant to be ruled by chaos. You were born to lead your life with clarity, courage, and compassion. So remember this: IQ might open a door, but EQ decides whether you walk through it. IQ might impress, but EQ connects, inspires, and transforms. And the best part? It's already inside you. The calm, the strength, the fire, the empathy, the mastery, all of it already within. Now is the time to train it. Now is the time to trust it. Now is the time to become the emotionally intelligent version of you. Because once you master your emotions, you master your relationships. You master your goals. You master your future. So go. Be the calm in the chaos. Be the light in the noise. Be the leader this world needs. Master your emotions, and you will master your life. If this message moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of who you truly are, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. And if you're on a journey of growth, purpose, and power, subscribe and walk this path with us. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, stay limitless.